last hour on court today at practice. What was that like, and what was kind of the focal point of what you guys were doing?
I was good, just getting up and down, executing some things that we want to work on, and change some of the offensive and defensive schemes. But just getting the cardio, getting our bodies moving. We got a few days off, so just trying to get our bodies back going and our cardio right. But it was good competition, good talk, good level of focus.
How much did you guys need the rest of this week kind of afforded you guys to get ready for this weekend rather than having to play extra games to get there?
I mean, it's big time. Anytime you can rest your body, get some time to, get to as close to 100% as possible going into the postseason is big. That not having to worry about the play-in is huge. So we definitely appreciated the extra time off, and it gives us even more time to prepare. Not having to prepare for another opponent and then prepare for somebody after possibly. Just have that time to prepare for one opponent and execute and get the things that we want to focus on ready for the first round. So it's big time.
One of the things that stood out. Kawhi mentioned that how much he still loves this game. Have you seen him playing with the more joy this season that maybe past because of he's healthy now?
I think he's always had that joy. I think anytime he's had an interview or talked about it, he's always talking about having fun with the game, having fun with basketball. It's a fun game for him. I haven't seen any change from this year compared to last year or back in Toronto. He's always loved the game of basketball. And you can just tell when he's able to play and be healthy and play the game he loves at the level that he knows he can play at.
You mentioned the preparation for Denver. What has particularly stood out to you as you guys have gone through preparing for this matchup?
Just being really focused on the defensive side of the ball, honestly. That's where we're going to hang our hats. Offensively, we have the guys to be able to score the basketball and do what we want, but defensively is going to be the biggest thing, being focused in on their guys, on Jokic. He's the head of the snake with Murray. But it's a unit that they play. That first unit is really good, and the guys that have coming off the bench, the energy that they bring. So just being really tied in and locked in on the defensive side of the ball, whoever's on the floor.
Christian Brown has led the NBA in fast break points this year. Kind of, how big of a key is it for you guys to? I know going into every game is like just don't let them get out in transition. But how big is the key to kind of stop him from getting easy baskets to where he gets going, and then you guys, kind of get stretched at times?
Very important. JVG's made multiple points watching film and even in practice and our defensive drills. Getting back in transition, getting matched up. Nobody having a matchup and merely communicating and talking, so nobody is lost. They're a team that likes to throw the ball ahead. Jokic is very unselfish with the pitch aheads and finding his teammates in stride. So it's going to be all five talking and communicating. Transitioning from offense to defense. It's not just going to be one man focused on Christian. It's going to be all five, getting back in transition and getting our defensive set.
Norman, it feels like a lot of people, when they talk about Jokic, you simplify it as make him score, don't make him a facilitator, or vice versa. Is that too simple? Is that too simplified? And is one thing that he does more than the other? Like, does his scoring hurt you more? Or does his playmaking hurt you more?
I think anything you say, you can simplify it, but it's not as easy as whatever you're trying to describe. You look at the numbers and what they're at and their output when he's assisting and not assisting. So you're just doing that analytics game with Jokic does have the ball, but he's one of the best players in the world. And unselfish player. He's not only looking for his shot, he's looking for his teammates, and he's finding his teammates. When defenses are breaking down or not communicating on switches and things like that, and that's where they're deadly. Getting easy paint assists on their cuts and playing off of him. So that's the focal point. Just being tied together and locked in and physical and not giving them easy baskets where he's able to do both score and pick us apart with his passing. You're trying to limit one thing. You're always trying to take away the best players' best attributes and to make it difficult for him. And that's what teams are trying to do. And that's what we're trying to do.
So you played 3 times in Denver this season, 2-part. Like, what's the key to adjusting 2 games early there, and especially with your fourth quarter performances this year? Like, what's the key to being able to have enough in the tank to finish the games the way you need to finish?
It's a mental thing, I think being able to get our cardio and stuff right, our body's ready for the altitude, and being able to get past to our second wind is huge. I think everybody talks about that whenever you're going to Denver. Even in the regular season. But I think it's going to be a mental thing. They play really well at home. not getting discouraged when you're playing good defense and they make tough shots and things like that. But just sticking with it, staying composed, no matter what, throughout the course of 48 minutes, man. It's a series, and every game's going to be different. Been in games where you blow a team out by 20, and then the next game you lose by 10. It's not one game's not going to determine the whole series. It's just about us being focused and tied together, going into an environment like Denver and pulling for each other and everybody pulling the rope in the same direction.
Can you talk a little bit about that mental preparation? Because obviously going to playoffs, the pressure is at a higher stake. So what do you do to get into that zone?
Just having fun with it throughout the course of it, not getting too wrapped up or tense, At the end of the day, it's the playoff. Yes, it's a lot on the line, but it's basketball, we do this our whole lives. We've done this all season. It's not a situation that I've been unfamiliar with. It's not the first time playing Denver in the playoffs. So just sticking to what I know, cleaning up some things that I need to work on, and watching the games that I've played against them and how they've covered me and my different reads and stuff, offensively and defensively, and just going out there and staying in a moment, but enjoying it. When you have fun and you're enjoying it, you're not really thinking about the pressure. You're just thinking about what you got to do to win.
Would you say that there's anything that you feel differently coming into this playoff than other seasons?
No, not really. Just that I'm older. I wish I was 4 years younger. No, not really. I mean, it's good to fully be healthy again. I think that's the biggest thing, finally getting into the postseason and then being fully healthy, top to bottom, and going out there and being able to execute with a full squad. I think that's the biggest difference.
When you look at this team, obviously you have a lot of elite players who can get buckets in isolation. But when you play, you also play very team ball a lot. It's not like you're in my team very often. So in a playoff series, how do both ways kind of help you most?
It's big time because out of isolation, it's not always about them just getting a shot. Isolating a matchup that we want, forces the teams to have to adjust and be in rotations. And now you're isoing the defender that you want. Now they're rotating, firing, blitzing, double teaming, and now the ball's moving and they're scrambling and have to guard and closeouts. So it's not always about ISO and getting that person a bucket. It's about hunting a matchup and then getting their defense to adjust to that. And then attacking them on the second side of the court. That's the biggest thing with isolation, So we got guys that can score in isolation, but that also creates for other guys on the other side.